The Sixers somewhat survived the preseason, and now they're gearing up to play their first regular season game versus the Milwaukee Bucks. We got to see some of the new players that they acquired in the offseason play in the preseason. So what we're going to do today is we're going to grade those players on what type of preseason each one of them had, see if they're going to be able to contribute immediately in year one. We know that they are a brand new team. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to grade those players and see who had a good preseason, who didn't. But without further ado, here's the intro. What's going on, YouTube? It's like my boys. We back with another episode of Off the Cliff Show, brought to you by 14th and Market Podcast Network. Before we continue, before we do anything else, I appreciate every single one of y'all for the love and support that y'all showed on the last video. I will have it somewhere here if you want to go click that link, like, subscribe, do what y'all gotta do. But thank you all so much. We are still on the road to 500 subscribers before the end of December. So if you can, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down below. It takes 1 second. It is free. It supports me. I thank all y'all. And if you do it, thank you so much. Make sure you also hit that bell at the bottom to make sure you are getting notifications on these videos so you never miss a video. All right, we got to set a like goal. We got 300 likes on the last video. I'm gonna tailor that. It was a popping video. We're gonna try to bring that down. Can we get 30 likes on this video? Please, like I said, it supports me. But that's the goal. Let's try to get 30 likes on this video. Oh, also got something else new for y'all. All right, so we figured out in the community. You know, I appreciate everybody for commenting and let me know what we want to call the community. So we figured out a name. So we're going. Let me run it back. Let me run it back. What's up, cliffhangers? We are back with another video. Y'all like that? Y'all like cliffhanger? Shout out to my man's Adam. He came up with that. But we was in the comments. A lot of people was saying cliffhangers once Adam posted that in the comments. So that's the new community name, the cliffhangers. Let me know if y'all like it. If y'all don't, whatever. But without further ado, let's get into the video. All right. So like I said, what we're going to do is we're going to grade all the new Sixers. Their preseason performance is no point of grading the old Sixers that were already here because essentially Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. Then you got like Ricky Council, KJ Martin, but like we're just gonna grade the new ones because like we know what Joel and Tyrese have done. KJ Martin has looked good, Ricky Council but didn't want to grade those guys because they have already been here. These are the new Sixers. We're going to see what they are going to contribute, what they brought into the preseason that we may have liked, we may have not liked, but we're going to give them each a grade today, and we're just going to see, you know, who was good, who wasn't. All right, we're going to start off with the newest one, the rookie from Duke, Jared McCain. I'm going to give Jared a B. I liked a lot of things that he did this preseason, a lot of things that I saw that I did not think he could do. There were some things that I disliked as well, some things that I believe he's going to struggle with throughout his career. But we can start off with the good stuff that I like, being able to transition his shot over into the NBA. Not that I thought it was going to be a problem, but we know how the Sixers get when they acquire players that can shoot. They automatically come to the Sixers and they forget how to basketball. And that's just what it is. But it looks like Jared McCain's shot has transferred over into the NBA, especially on the Sixers. So that's something that I'm especially happy about. And he looked confident, man. He looked like he played with a lot of pace. His ability to get to the basket is something I thought he would struggle with because he's not the most athletic guy on the Sixers or in the NBA. But he got to his spots. He was able to finish through contact a lot. And he also did like a bunch of the little things. Like he grabbed rebounds. He was able to play make a little bit. He hit his open threes when he had the catch and shoot stuff. And that's something that I liked, man, and I was appreciated. It looked like he challenged every matchup on defense, and that's something that, you know, like I said in the last video with the Sixers and building a culture, that's something that you need, somebody that's just going to accept the defensive matchup and doesn't care about the outcome, right? Some things I disliked, we're just going to keep it on the defensive end. It looked like he struggled to stay in front of some players at times. He is a little on the smaller side. So I'm saying smaller side like I'm not short, but he is a little bit on the smaller side, and he did struggle to stay with some of the offensive players that the NBA had, the bigger offensive players, quicker offensive players that the NBA has. But like I said, he accepted the matchup. He took it head on, and he won some defensive matchups. He didn't, and that's just what's going to happen in his career just because he is on the smaller side. He is on the less athletic side, but he is strong. He is able to defend some guards in the NBA, and it's something that you have to look forward to. So overall, I'm going to give him a B, and we're going to go on to the next player. So a hot topic on social media when the Sixers signed him, Eric Gordon. I saw a lot of conversations going back and forth about, is he washed? Is he not? Is he still good? Is he going to be able to be a spark plug off the bench? He's not good anymore. The Sixers don't need him. They need to sign somebody else. There was a lot of conversation like that going on social media, which always happens no matter who they're gonna sign, right? So we saw Eric Gordon play in the preseason. My automatic grade I'm going to give Eric Gordon is probably going to be a B+. He did a lot of things that I like, that a lot of people said that he was washed for, and I think he's going to be a good spark plug off the bench. He is an unconscious shooter. He's just going to shoot it, let it fly, live with the results, and the Sixers have needed somebody like that. I guess since you want to go back to like the J.J. Redick days, Seth Curry days, who's going to be able to just say, all right, I'm shooting it, whatever happens, happens, right? And they needed somebody like that who's going to be able to put the ball in the basket or has the ability to put the ball in the basket when Joel Embiid is not on the court, when Tyrese Maxey is not on the court, and even when Paul George is probably not on the court, right? And especially when you're going into a season where all three of those guys are probably going to be on some type of load management program to get you into the playoffs. So you're going to need other players that are going to be able to score when you don't have one or all three of those guys on the court at the same time. And I think Eric Gordon still has the ability to do that. Not the ability that he had a couple years ago, but he's still a viable offensive threat that teams have to guard. And we saw it in the preseason that he would shoot the ball from anywhere. He would shoot it from deep. He was able to get into the paint. He was able to make contact layups. And he's not a bad defender. So I give Eric Gordon a B+. All right, we're going to stay with the wings. We're going to go next to Caleb Martin. Somebody that everybody loved the sign. They thought that this was the sign that pushed the Sixers over the top to be one of the top contending teams in the NBA, especially in the East, that put them up there with Boston. Caleb Martin, we all saw how he played in the preseason. I am going to give Caleb Martin an A for his preseason performance because it was amazing. And he talked a lot about how it's not about scoring. It's not about being able to be the guy. He just wants to come and he wants to contribute and he wants to do all the little things. He understands his role on a team with three other superstars, that he is out there to be able to do all the little things, something that the Sixers have needed for forever. Just somebody that's going to be able to do the dirty work, rebounding, diving on the floor, playing defense, being in the passing lanes. And Caleb Martin brings that. He's able to knock down, catch and shoot threes. He's able to also initiate when needed, when all the pressure doesn't have to be on Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Paul George. And he did that throughout the preseason. And it also showed that he has the right mindset, because if you were watching the Sixers this preseason, he went from starting to coming off the bench because Nick Nurse wanted to try some things out. Never looked like he wavered, never looked like he cared. It does actually seem like he just wants to win, and he's going to do whatever it takes to try to help the Sixers win. And that's something, and he showed that with his play, which I'm extremely happy about. So I definitely want to give Caleb Martin an A, because it seems like whatever role he is put in, he is going to accept that role. He's going to excel in that role. And that's something that the Sixers need. All right, next up, Reggie Jackson, another controversial signing on social media. People are saying he's washed. People are saying he's a viable backup. But it looks like in Nick Nurse's offense, or Nick Nurse's Sixers, he is going to be the third point guard. I'm not going to be too hard on Reggie Jackson. I did think that it was a solid pickup at the time, but seeing the preseason play out, it doesn't look like he is going to get a lot of minutes. Like I said, he's going to be the third backup behind Kyle Lowry. So I'm just going to give him like a C here. He didn't really do anything that was insane in preseason. It kind of looked like he was a little out of place on this team. Like, of course, he's going to be able to be a point guard that can go in there, create separation on his shots, get to the basket, still be a little bit of a playmaker. But it just looks weird with him being in the offense. I don't know. It's just like a vibe that it just looks off when he's in the game. And I don't know if that's because he doesn't like his role, or maybe he's just not a good fit for what the Sixers and Nick Nurse wants to do. But that's just what it looks like. I'm not saying it's Reggie Jackson's fault at all, but it just looks like he's out of place there. And it's weird that y'all all know I'm not like the biggest Kyle Lowry fan. Like, I don't want him to be the backup point guard. I probably do think it should be. Does think it should be. I don't know what I'm saying. I think that it should be Reggie Jackson as the backup behind Tyrese Maxey, but Nick Nurse trusts Kyle Lowry more. Reggie Jackson, he didn't really do anything to like earn the backup spot. So like, I'm gonna give him a C. It's whatever. All right, it's the grade y'all probably have all been waiting for. The biggest addition that the Sixers signed this offseason, and that is Paul George. I liked a lot of what I saw of Paul George for the game that we saw him play. We only saw half a game from NBA, because NBA TV did not work for the first half of one game, and then the second game that we saw him play, he only played one other half because he got hurt. So like whatever, but we saw I guess put it together as a full game. But I liked a lot that I saw from Paul George. Everything that the Sixers expected him to be: tough shot creation, initiator, playmaker. He's able to get a bucket when the Sixers offense stalled, because throughout the preseason, the Sixers offense hasn't been extremely cohesive, and that's because they're a brand new team, right? They're all trying to figure each other out. But in those moments when the Sixers offense stalled or it looked like they were cold, Paul George there was like, all right, let me get a bucket here, let me get a bucket there. Let's make sure we stay part of the course. That way, when we do figure each other out or we do get hot, we're all on one accord. But right now, I'm going to stem the tide, make sure we're not going on where the opposing team is going on too many runs because we can't score, because we're a new offense. We're trying to figure everything out. Don't worry, I'll go get a bucket here, and we'll stem the tide. And that's something that I love from Paul George. Did I give him a grade yet? Oh, I'm gonna give PG a B plus, because we didn't see a lot, but what we saw was very encouraging. And there was some things defensively where he didn't look like old PG, I guess, if you want to say that. Like, he's still a very good defender, but that's also a case of the Sixers just not being locked in on defense throughout a lot of the preseason. You could tell there were games where they were just like, all right, whatever. And then, for example, in that Minnesota game, they were getting blown out in the first half, and they came out in the second half, and you could tell they were like, all right, can we play fence real fast and then cut the lead down? And they did exactly that. And I think they got the lead for a couple of minutes there in that game. But yeah, he got lost on defense a couple of times. Also, on offense, he's still learning how to play off of other players. Like a lot of what the Sixers wanted PG for, and what I thought PG was really good at, is because he could play off ball. He could just stand there and do and he can do, oh my God, he can stand there and he can catch and shoot. And he can also play off other people, cut, do different things like that. You can still see a lot of times he got the ball and it was like, all right, I'm just going to ISO. And there was a lot of ISO PG that we saw. But again, he's trying to learn a new offense and learn new players. He's still trying to figure out how to work off of Tyrese Maxey. And also, Joel Embiid has not played a single second with him. So that trio has not been on the floor. So they're still going to have to figure that out. But I'm going to give him a B+. Liked a lot of what I saw from Paul George. He's exactly what the Sixers wanted when they acquired him, and they thought he was going to be. And I think that's going to carry over into the season when he is fully healthy. Next, I'm so happy he is back. Andre Drummond. I'm giving Andre Drummond an A. All right, he's a little nuts on offense, but he is everything in a backup center we have been crying about since he left. Since he got traded to the Nets in the Harden trade. I'm giving Andre Drummond an A. He had a 20 rebound game in the preseason. He's already dubbed himself as the best rebounder ever, and he can kind of back it up. Like, I'm so confident when Andre Drummond is in the game that we're never going to get out rebounded when he's out there, or he's always going to secure the rebound that the Sixers absolutely need, whether it be offensively or defensively. He's also there on defense. He has a little bit too much freedom on offense. I don't know if that's just because of the preseason or like if Nick Nurse, somebody has to reel him in. But like, it was one play. It was the perfect Andre Drummond experience, right? I think he got a steal. He went on a fast break by himself, did a Euro into nothing, missed. But because he's such a great rebounder, grabbed the ball, got it back in, and it counted as a steal, rebound. It was a crazy play. It was the perfect Andre Drummond experience. But it's just so refreshing to finally have a backup center that the Sixers can rely on. And I'm pretty sure there are going to be times where they're probably going to bring Adem Bona up as well, because Andre Drummond is going to be starting a lot. But like, it's so refreshing, and he's there on defense. He's a perfect pick and roll partner with Maxey. We saw that already when they first played together, but now that Maxey has grown and taken that next step and that leap as a ball handler, initiator, shot creator, scorer, playmaker. You already saw with Maxey throwing oops to Andre Drummond in the preseason that it's just going to be a great matchup for those two, as well as Paul George, and like creating space off of screens, because Andre Drummond is such a big body. It's going to help the Sixers so much. I'm just so happy that Drummond is back and we have a viable backup center. Yes, he's a little wild on offense, but I don't expect that to be who he is in the regular season. So I'm going to give him an A, because we've seen Andre Drummond on this Sixers team on offense, and he looks completely fine. Like, he doesn't do anything crazy, but he's always going to be that tenacious rebounder that they need. All right, just talked about him as well. Adem Bona, another rookie. Didn't really see a lot of him, but what we saw, he's probably going to spend some time in the G League. I'm going to give him probably like a B. He's going to spend some time in the G League, but from what we saw, he's everything that the Sixers wanted as far as he's going to be probably like a 4-5. He's a little bit smaller, but he's able to block shots. He's able to rebound. He's going to have to work on his finishing, going to have to work on, I guess, some type of ball handling. He's going to have to, he can't get bigger, so it's just going to be tough for him to get rotation minutes in this current iteration of the Sixers. But I did like what I saw from him. Like I say, he's able to block shots, rebound. He's able to be a force. Like, he's in the game. He's athletic. So I'm just going to give him a B. Didn't really see a lot of him, and we're probably going to see a lot of him in the G League, and that's fine. But a B for Adem Bona. And it feel like I'm just giving out like A's and B's. I gave Reggie Jackson a C, but like these Sixers players, they impressed me. Like, nobody had like a bad preseason to me. But there was also things that a lot of them could still work on. It's still a new iteration of the team, right? So they have to flow and get a vibe for each other and really learn how to play with each other. And finally, one of the biggest acquisitions this offseason, I don't want to say the biggest, but one of the most talked about and one of the most like, all right, like that's a good pickup if it works out. Guerschon Yabusele. He had an amazing preseason to me. It looked like he was able to transfer or transition that overseas game with France over to the NBA. My biggest concern with him was if he was going to be able to transition that 40% three-point shooting over to the NBA's three-point line. It looks like he has done that and beyond. Like, it looks like he's going to be a very viable option for the Sixers at the 4 spot, and they're going to play a little bit of small ball 5 if Nick Nurse's rotations hold up. I saw a lot of people talking about that. They're even talking about him possibly being a starting 4 until the Sixers go out and get one. But he had an amazing preseason, showed that he could stretch the floor. He's a big body. He showed that he can attack the rim. He doesn't care who's down there. He's going to be physical. He's going to create space down low in the paint. And I loved it. He was very, like I said, he was very physical. Showed that he has a mean streak to him, but he's called I think his nickname's the Dancing Bear. I forget, but he smiles all the time. But he's one of those players where he's going to attack you every night on offense, and you are going to know that he is there. So I didn't even give him a grade. I gave Guerschon. Did I give anybody a A plus? I'm giving Guerschon a A plus. He did everything that we expected from him or had questions about, and he answered those questions. So Guerschon gets an A plus. But that is my Sixers preseason grades. We will see how they look in the regular season. It's going to be really tough with the load managing and seeing it's going to be different rosters in and out every night, I guess. I have thoughts on that, but that's for a whole nother video. But if you have stayed and watched the video this entire time, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It supports me. It helps me out. It's free. It takes 1 second. Also, hit that bell, hit the notification so you never miss a video. Y'all see this I got a new Sixers thing too, right? This shit on fire, ain't it? I like it. But those are my preseason grades. I appreciate everybody for watching, for listening. Make sure y'all, again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'm out. Remember, Cliffhangers, new community name. Make sure y'all follow me on all socials as well.